and welcome to my server rack tour. One of the many hobbies that I have are servers, and I do a lot of different things with them. So I do want to explain the layout and everything else. So without further ado, let's get into the tour. This is the office studio space that I work in, and this is the server rack. This is the same rack from Rack Solutions that Linus Tech Tips has, or Linus Sebastian has, I should say. And it is something that I definitely wanted because when I saw it, I was like, oh, that's great. It was expensive, not my favorite price, but I will link it in the description below. It has gone down since I bought it. I'm not mad at that. This thing is a tank. I bought it because I won't always be in this house, this space, and it's a 42U rack that has a ton of storage and space for everything and anything. Hopefully this will be a yearly thing where I'll kind of talk about what I have and even go through and add the software that I'm using, for my home lab as well as some business stuff. So this is the Rack Solutions. I will put the model number down below. Opening it, the reason I got it was because you can move everything from while it's still fully loaded with the big casters it has on it. And so that was a huge thing because you don't have to take everything out, and servers can be pretty heavy. I don't have it fully loaded up. I did a little cleanup earlier this year, so I've decluttered it and kind of have dedicated things. A lot of this, what you see at the top, is a solution from AC Infinity, which will help pull out air. Right now, I don't have it set up because the big servers I have aren't running, but it will pull out air and kick on when it reaches the temperature setting. It has a temperature probe that's back there as well. The power goes that way. And it's at the top, so any networking equipment I get in the future, which will go in these rack units here, will be able to completely go through. This is a pass-through patch area, which will be eventually populated with, things coming in from the actual Wi-Fi, internet speed, Ethernet, from the Ethernet, from whatever service I'm using. To have that, I have an LED light in the back that is a Govee light that is flexible, that kind of gives me a lot of light in the back, especially when I'm working back there to repopulate cables. This will be for future networking stuff. This will be where the switches go above and below. So this is patching everything in. And then we move down to the current switch I have today, which is this simple patch panel here that's used for all the equipment that's in here for now. And this Netgear router that's 1 gig. So it's got about 24 ports, which is really nice because it was super cheap on eBay for like 30 bucks. It's old school. I'll put the link to that there as well. And it does the job just fine. I have this mounted lower because I plan to fill it out in the future. This is a little shelf. I don't know if I'm gonna use it much anymore because there is not a huge need to have it, especially since I'm not putting anything on it, but I'm gonna keep it because you never know. Next up, there's a guy on Etsy who makes these wonderful little 3D printed holders that go into the rack units themselves. This one is for a Homie Pro and a Home Run HD, which is great for, recording TV or just having like a place to simply have an antenna in one spot in your house. And I'll show that in a minute. That shows pretty much everything. This is my current Home Run HD. I'll probably put another one so I can have more in the future. This is my Dell R720 XD, which is wonderful because it has 12 bays in the front. Most of them, 6 of them are filled up with 18 terabyte drives for my NAS and also media server. The other 6 are like regular, not regular, enterprise drives that are like 4 terabytes a piece. So they do like time machine backups and things like that. This next one down here is a Dell 6415, I think. It is for more business related stuff. It's 6415 Dell R61 Power 6415. And it is fundamentally primarily for hosting personal apps I want to host without having, to log into the cloud. Keeps all the data on premise and goes from there. Under that is what I like to call Sentry. This one is for all the apps that I'll show on another video that kind of run everything for the house, including like networking, security, and all that stuff. Is kind of all in that. And then here is my Proxmox, and this is a Proxmox server. This runs TrueNAS. Here is this media server. This one runs Proxmox. This one runs Proxmox, and then Proxmox backup server backs up these servers, with the exception of this one. I need to create another one or an instance for that and configure that. So I'll go through that one day. And then here, this is a shelf, which I have a bunch of things in, which is great, lockable. And then finally, down at the very bottom is my UPS, which is an uninterruptible power supply. Older APC model, but does the job and talks to the Sentry server, which kind of walks through all of that to make it easy for me to, so when it reaches a certain charge level, when the power goes out, it will go ahead and actually turn off, which is great. As I said before, I have the antenna all the way. It gets really good signal, so I can watch TV through the Homer HD app and add a source to my smart TVs, so that I have essentially an antenna that 4 TVs can use at the same time. In the back, a little junky, need to clean it up, but I bought these from Dell. Kind of fell apart because I was moving a lot of stuff around and cleaning some stuff up. Please excuse the cable mess, but I'll clean that up. But these are great. They help route cables. Pretty kind of easy to put together, a little bit confusing, but very nice. Power bar that I will eventually probably get rid of, and get one that is smart, that integrates with all the server stuff and Ubiquity. That's gonna be my next big thing that I wanna invest in. And like I said, the Govee light, which adds a lot of illumination back here for me to work, which is nice and just has a nice little effect. One day I'll re-cable all of this and organize it, and probably take you along for the ride on that. And my other favorite thing from this that I think is kind of necessary is what I like to call the dev mount. Now, I know you may have noticed on my actual racks, I do use rack studs, but I found most of the stuff I have is 1U. Well, with rack studs, they make the Duo, and it is nice, but there's nothing that beats like this little metal clip. And the nice thing about the dev mount, which is from Rack Solutions, or Patchbox, sorry, not Rack Solutions, Patchbox, is that you take it and you clamp it in like this, and basically you have that right there. Once you have that, you can simply add your appliance and then screw this in, and you can use a regular hand tool or a drill or whatever to kind of tighten it up. Now, the beautiful part about this over rack studs, for me at least, is that it is actually able to do a lot, and easy to take in, easy to take out, super simple and helpful. So I hope that helps kind of talk about, try to do a tour of the server rack every year, because this is one of the many hobbies that exist. And I do use it to kind of host a lot of things, especially as I've gotten more into servers in general. But it also helps with data privacy, collecting data. I didn't want to spend a bunch of money on, now the hard drives cost a lot, but I didn't want to spend a bunch of money on buying a proprietary solution for a home theater that I plan to build out in the future, and wanted something that I could actually host and have. So this is that was kind of the impetus behind it, and then being able to go through and have everything just makes it easier. So thank you for watching. There'll be more on this in the future, and please subscribe, and see you soon.